Obviously, fantastic game, incredible win, and really just happy for my players for the way they battled all season. Didn't play as well the other night, and got after it for the last couple of days, and just tried to put a plan in place to help give our guys a chance. And I thought our guys made some big time plays. Didn't play as well defensively in the first half. Credit Florida State; they made a bunch of shots. But we hung in there offensively, and then in the second half we guarded better. And they're tough to play against. They're tough to run offense against. But our guys did some good things. We executed pretty well. You got to do a lot of different things. You don't do as many things as you normally do. And I thought for 2-day prep, our guys did an incredible job of executing what it is we tried to do for this game. So a lot of credit to my players.
Coach, I know you were able to draw good many charges tonight. How much of an emphasis have been put on that prior to the game?
It was a lot. We don't have shot blockers, so we have to try to protect the basket in different ways. And we know that they're big, strong, athletic guys that like to drive the ball to the basket. And I thought our guys really did a phenomenal job of swarming to the ball, trying to protect the rim as much as we could. And somebody told me we took 6 tonight, which is maybe ties a school record or something most since sometime in the 80s. Tim Bray will give you the exact Google stat. But, that just speaks to the effort our players played with and the intelligence, because those are incredibly intelligent plays, unselfish plays. So our guys played great today.
What's going through your head when Al gets the ball?
Go. Get to the basket. I just was screaming, get to the basket, get to the basket, get to the basket. I think I said it 3 times because, he's been known to stop and shoot a 3 or shoot a pull-up or something. In an open court like that, that's our best chance to try to get to the rim against their kind of talent, their kind of athletes, their kind of defensive team. They're incredibly hard to play against. And so, if we could get it out quick, we kind of talked about that in the timeout or in the scrum when it was whose ball is it going to be. I told them if they make a basket, get it out and we're going. And if I don't like what I see, I'll call timeout at half court. But we're not calling a timeout, unless it would have been a second or 2 left right away. So we got it into him, and he went to the basket and made a tough play. Like I just talked on the radio about, we talked this week about the importance of layups, because we gave up some layups to Georgia Tech, and we had some layups that we missed. And layups at this level are hard shots. They're not wide open layups. They're physical layups. They're wrong foot layups. They're off 2 feet when you're getting hit layups. And like the shot Al made to win the game was not an easy layup. I think he switched. I couldn't quite see, but I thought he switched it from his right hand to his left and made a tough layup to win the game. So it's ironic because that was a huge point of emphasis in our film session on Thursday morning.
Is that just stress removal?
Yeah, just I don't know. It just every once in a while I do it. I haven't done it in a long time, but hot, tired, mad. Who knows? Might come off more now though.
Brett, is there a sense? There's got to be a sense of pride in this team from what we were watching and what you were seeing in December to the way they're playing.
Yeah, to be honest with you, it's hard. I mean, we're going to get judged on our full body of work, which I get, but we're a different team. We just obviously we're better. We have some guys that are more experienced, and we're also more whole. And we've been more whole for a while to be able to develop a rhythm to play the right way or play the way that's best for this team. Early on, we didn't have some guys, and some guys are in a game, they're out of game, they're not in games, they're in games, they're out of games, and it was hard. First 2 months of the season were hard that way, and so just having as many guys as we've had for the most part. Now we've lost Chase at some point here. We lost Chase after Christmas, but we kind of just know who we have, so that's made it easier to practice. It's been easier to plan. It's been easier to understand roles for guys, and it's been easier for the players to play with the same guys consistently, which I think helps also.
These past couple of home games, against Louisville and Duke and the top-ranked teams, you were able to get off to a hot start. wasn't the same story tonight. What were some adjustments that you guys really had to make as the game progressed?
Defensively, we needed to stop them better. They shot it so well at the beginning of the game. Some at the basket, some from three. Obviously, I think Malik made 3 threes in the first half, and it's like, now we know he can make some shots, but when their 5-man's making 3 threes in the first 10 minutes of the game, that probably wasn't number one on our scouting report. And so we had to make some adjustments. We changed some ball screen coverage within the game, and then we had to demand a little more of our players. At halftime, I wasn't very happy with them for our defense, and I told them that. And, they knew that, like, if we don't change the defense in the second half, we'll have no chance, that we're not going to be able to score enough to do anything to win this game. And so, to our guys' credit, they did a better job on the defensive end. And some of being able to guard Florida State is being able to score so that you can get your defense set. When you're turning the ball over and taking bad shots, they're coming at you in waves, and that makes it difficult. So part of it was executing well, scoring on offense, to be able to get floor balance to play better defense.
How have you seen Al grow this year from trying to find his way as a freshman point guard in this league?
Well, he's still as competitive as ever. Most of the time, that's a great thing. There's an occasion where even tonight there's a couple plays that you don't have to conquer the world. Like, you got some guys here to help you. You need to understand how to use everybody, and he's still learning that. He's still learning how to be a complete player. But he's got an unbelievable will to win and compete, and he's not afraid. And that's rare for he's not an incredible athlete to be able to just out-athlete people in front of him. He's got good quickness. He's got a little herky-jerky to his game, got a little wiggle, and so he can keep you off balance some, but, he's not going to play over top of you very often. So he's got to really learn how to play the game the right way and make all the right reads, and he's getting better at that, by the month. And, again, with the heart that he has and the way he plays, it can be contagious. It gets your guys at a different level. And, he's made some big plays for a freshman guard. To be doing some of the things he's done has been pretty remarkable.
It seems like even early on this year, he felt like he was the best player. On the
Yeah.
court every time. Is that?
Yeah, and obviously, he made incredibly bad plays at Virginia Tech and Miami that cost us the game, to be frank. And he knows that, and we've talked about it. And if you were at the games, I think everybody in the stands knew it but him, to be honest with you, because he's like, I don't understand why you wouldn't want me to do that. And it's like, it's a low percentage play. We got other guys that are good players. You got to learn how to play and make the right reads. And obviously he's doing more of that now. And we don't want to lose the aggressiveness that he plays with. We don't want to turn him into somebody he's not. He's not just going to be a pass-first guy. Like, he's going to make some plays, and there's going to be some wild ones. And the head coach has got to understand that sometimes. And he and I are going to have a love-hate relationship about some of those things. But his fight, man, is why we recruited him. I wanted a guy like that. He reminds me of DeMontez Stitt that way.
Coaches talk all the time about how important the whole crowd is. Is this a pretty good example this year?
Yeah, unbelievable. Obviously, I say it all the time, it's a difference maker. When all these games come down to a couple possessions, there's no question that, we win this game at home because our fans are behind us on all these plays, and they're energizing our players. And our players were tired in the second half. We took John Newman. He was exhausted and needed a break. And but the other guys built on the energy of the crowd. I think when you have a crowd like that, it also gives strength to some of your role players, your guys that maybe aren't playing 30 minutes every game. It just gives them a boost. It gives them confidence, and they make some good plays. I thought we had good plays from guys. I thought Kayvon Moore gave us good minutes. Obviously made those 2 plays at the basket, but did some good things defensively. I thought Trey, in the 7 or 8 minutes that he played, his physicality helped. He got 2 offensive rebounds. I think he threw the pass to Alex for 3. Like, when you win a one-possession game, those possessions throughout the game are huge. And so I thought our bench was great, and I think they benefited from the crowd just like everybody did.
Does the team feed off the John Newman? He just wears his emotions
Yeah.
out there.
Well, he and Al are similar that way. You almost always know what they're thinking. And, it was ironic for whatever reason, John got in a bad place at Georgia Tech. And I almost could sense it and feel it. It was probably too late, and I took him out. And to John's credit, I mean, you watch on the film, and John is cheering like the best teammate of all time when he's not playing, and he's not playing well at Georgia Tech. And down the stretch, he's rooting like crazy for everybody else because he's an incredible kid. And, he's growing as a player by leaps and bounds. And it's ironic that he's played his best games probably against some of the better teams in our league. We're working to get him to be a more consistent, confident guy all the time. But he was phenomenal tonight, and he was phenomenal against Louisville, and I think he played really well against Chapel Hill and Duke as well. So it's fun to watch the development of young players. And again, John was a guy that didn't play a lot last year, so he's really growing a lot this year as a sophomore, as a guy who's getting to play big minutes for the first time in his life.
What's the challenge for you in managing emotions of the team when you have these really high highs and the court's going and then followed by some of those losses?
Yeah, I mean, kids are pretty resilient, and I've talked at times that, the wins are unbelievable, and they enjoy the heck out of them, for a day or two, but, they get past them pretty quick. Just like sometimes when we lose, they get past them a little quicker than I would like, and sometimes quicker than they should. And I think that's a problem. The competitor in you can't be that way. Now you can't wear it forever, but there does need a period of understanding of what it is that we got to do, and self-reflection. And you shouldn't put it past you so quickly all the time. And so most of the time they get past things pretty quickly, good and bad. And your job as a coach is to point out the things that you think can help them in both ways. And sometimes it's giving them a hug, and sometimes it's give them a little pat on the tail when they need a little bit more work or they can do better. So, our guys have done a pretty good job of bouncing back. They're a pretty resilient group.
Any questions? Yeah. Last year when we were having the conversation, you guys had more wins, but they're talking about the wrong, they weren't the right kind of wins. It seems like now you've got a bunch of those right kind of wins.
It's, personally, it's it's frustrating because, I'm the same guy that lost all the close games, and I'm a bad coach and all those kinds of things. And some of it, and I kept saying, some of this is basketball, folks. It's just, I didn't do anything that smart tonight other than let Al go. And I let Shelton go on a play last year, and it didn't work against North Carolina. And we've done it twice this year against Syracuse, and Clyde makes a layup on a great pass from Kayvon, and tonight Al wins the game. It's not – there's a lot of times when the coach – is given too much credit and too much blame, and that goes with the territory, no problem. But these kids, it's about these players. Our players won the game today. Our players played unbelievable. Our players made big-time plays throughout the game. It wasn't me doing anything special to help them as much as those guys have to go make plays. And the confidence to watch them do that against high-quality teams, this team has been – incredible to be able to bring their level that way. And I think a big part of it is the environment. It is the environment. It is the sold-out Little John. There's no question that is a common denominator. It's a common theme, and it's a great thing for our fans to understand the importance they have on making this place special. They can help us tremendously, and I'm grateful when they come like that. I know where players are too, because this environment, when it's like that, is incredible. It's a fun place to play. It's a fun place to watch a game, and these are great memories we're creating.
Fans that stood behind you guys.
Yeah, they've been unbelievable. Obviously, we struggled early, and I think people kind of understood parts of it, but it's hard. It's just hard to be good all the time. It's not like we're infinitely more talented than anybody that we play. I think that there's a couple teams in our league that probably are a little more talented than everybody else, and our coaches do a fantastic job, and that's why they play to those levels. But everybody else in the league is really close. There's not much difference between 15 and 5 and 4, and it just isn't. And a couple plays here, a couple plays there. That shot happened to go in. We win. Everybody's celebrating. We look smarter. If he misses that layup, it looks like we messed something up. And it's that way a lot. We've won a couple close games this year, and last year, unfortunately, we couldn't get a lucky break. I think we won one at Notre Dame and lost 5 or 6. And unfortunately, that's often the difference between being in the NCAA tournament and being close. And, unfortunately, we needed to make it last year and we didn't. We're trying like crazy this year with a young team, and I'm proud of what these guys have been able to do. They're playing at pretty much max potential most times. Thank you.